Hey guys, it's A.
It's B. Let's connect. And welcome to our first podcast. Woo! I am Brooke Goodnight-Basa, the founder, and I'm here with...
My name is Adriana, aka Anna Moreno, and I am the co-founder of A2B Connections.
Yes, and I'm sure you guys are wondering what A2B Connections is. So we are a local nonprofit in the greater Reno area. We have the mission of bridging the gap between struggle and opportunity for individuals who are...
Yeah, so we're here to help the homeless, domestic violence victims, inmates who are coming into society after recently being incarcerated, children aging out of foster care, pretty much anyone who needs a helping hand, we are the place for you.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to be that helpful hand, hence the name of getting people from step A to step B, wherever they may be in that journey. And speaking of journey, like how did we get here? Why did we want to start this nonprofit? So this has been a passion project of mine for years and years. I've really wanted to do this and it wasn't God's timing. And so, finally it kind of came around. We were at church and I was watching a sermon about what God calls us to do. And this has been a calling of mine for a long time. So I was like, okay, I need to do this. And as a young kid, when I first moved to Reno, I had a lot of great interactions with homeless individuals who were the sweetest, hardworking people that just happened to get a bad hand in life or just had a bad experience that set them on the wrong foot. And, it's not the end of the world for them. They just need a little extra step up. So That's a little bit about why I care so much about this.
Yeah, and it was funny because Brooke and I go to the same church, and I was there for that sermon as well, and I remember looking back at her because she was sitting behind me, and I could just see that she had a lot of thought in her mind at that moment, and I knew that she had something to tell me. And so after church, she came up to me and she told me about, obviously this lifelong dream that she's had to be a helping hand to people in need. And I was immediately drawn to it. I've always as well felt like God has called me to give back to the community and in any way that I can. Growing up, my dad would always take us to Fisherman's Park, which is a local park in Reno, Nevada. And we would just pass out waters and fruit and anything that we had in the cooler to all the homeless people. And my dad would always just share a little bit of the Word of God, which is, a great addition to what we were already doing. And I feel like that is very much something that I've always kind of had close in my heart of how can I give back to people? Anyone that I see struggling, I immediately feel the need to give somehow. And so when Brooke came to me with this, I was like, wow, this is perfect timing. And like you said, God's timing. And I was all for it. So
yeah,
that's how we came about.
I know. Yeah. And I think that's a good point to bring up too. So, we are both Christian women. We have certain beliefs about certain things, but at the same time, one of we've had many conversations about this in the past, is that a lot of the media and a lot of people have had bad experiences with Christians. So it was really important for us to reshape that narrative and show people through our own actions, genuinely what a Christian should be, which should be giving, should be loving, should be forgiving and merciful, because we may not be perfect like Jesus, but we should try to be like him. And so we made it part of this nonprofit to be where we give people the opportunity for prayer, opportunity to learn about God without feeling pressured, because the last thing we wanted to do is really chase people away from God.
Right. And this is definitely, we're Christian women, like Brooke said, this is who we are. But A2B is truly just about giving to those in need who, like you said, got dealt a bad hand. And that's what we're here to do. You have the opportunity to get prayer through us, with us. We can connect you with local churches if you would like. But ultimately, we want to help you in whatever part of your journey that you're in right now to get where you want to be and aspire to be. But of course, this is who we are. And by no means does this mean that, oh, we're better than you,
Yeah.
We're just as imperfect as everyone else. But this is just what we're feeling called to do. And we want to help those in need, because we've also been in a position and in positions where we got dealt a bad hand and we were in really cruddy situations in our lives, and we wish that we had someone there to help us find a job, or, you know, to help out with a resume or job interview, things like that. And so we really want to provide as much resources as we feel like are already lacking in the community as we can.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's one of the points is that, you know, a lot of individuals find themselves with a bad hand. And one of our missions is also to help educate the general population on really what homelessness looks like. So, you know, a lot of people see homeless and go, well, that's their own fault and they should just go get a job.
Right.
But as I've kind of explained to Anna too, like it's really not that simple. These individuals, you know, everybody knows appearance matters. So if you're in an interview and your hair's all messed up and you have, you know, soot or dirt on your face, like they're going to automatically pin you as unprofessional.
Right.
And also if you don't smell well, they're not going to want to be in the same room with you or give you the same time of day as somebody who's nice and clean and proper. So how are they supposed to get a shower? How are they supposed to get a nice pair of outfits? Also, how do you address the elephant in the room of like, what have you been doing for the last 5 years, right? How do you answer a question that's so targeting?
Right.
So things of that nature.
Yeah.
And we want to help them come to their side and give them some feedback and some assistance with their interview questions.
Yeah, that's so good, because I feel like most people immediately think, like, I personally have family members who have said things like, wow, that person looks so young, why don't they just go get a job? And it truly is not that simple. Most job places, if you're being paid by paycheck or direct deposit, whatever, you need a bank account. And if you are getting paid under the table, then the IRS can potentially come after you, or you can end up having to pay taxes to the government. And it's just, there's so many aspects to getting a job, especially nowadays. I feel like back then you can walk into a place and say, hey, I would like to apply here, and get the job the next week. Now it can take months to get a job. Even for someone who's qualified and has gone to college, someone who has a college degree, how much harder is it going to be for someone who's homeless, who doesn't have a phone, no bank account, no address, no work experience for the past 5 years? So we really want to basically kind of educate the community on the fact that it's not so simple. And these people that are living out on the streets, they're not living, they are surviving. And getting into that kind of mindset is not something that most people do every day, because we are living, most of us, comfortably. Finances can be hard, but we get to come home, turn the heater on, get into a bed, take a shower, eat a meal at any time of day that we would like. And that is not survival, that is living. And so we really want to help people get into the minds of how these people are living and how you can be helpful, whether that's your time, any resources that you might have.
Yeah, these are definitely like multifaceted issues. You know, like an example, when I was 15, I got a job at McDonald's, which you would think is great, right? But right off the bat, they were like, you need to get black pants and you need to get non-slip shoes. That was $80. And that was 7, 8, 9 years ago or so. So I can't imagine like thinking, okay, I need to keep my belly full or buy these non-slip shoes, which means I would not be fed for basically another like 2.5 weeks. Yeah. Which is an insane thought to be in. Like that's genuinely a thought of survival. And even for a job like that, like that's not something most people are willing to take a risk for, because why would you? Your life's on the line at that point.
Exactly. And at that point it's like, okay, do I want to learn how to live comfortably as a homeless person, or do I want to go through all of these hoops, try and get to a place that feels impossible to get to because I don't have the resources that I need? And we want to be that outlet of like, hey, it can be that easy. We're going to do the hard part. You come to us and we're going to make this as easy for you as it can be, because you're already having to survive every single day. People getting their things stolen, people, you know, wrangling you on the streets. They're really going through it, especially with weather conditions. And we'll get more into that in other podcasts as well of, you know, what if you did want to go to a shelter, what kind of things do they provide you? What are you able to bring in there or not? So these people are really just trying to survive. And it's a lot easier to live comfortably as a homeless person than it is to try and get better and to find housing and to get a job and things like that. So
Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of homeless individuals and those that are in, correction facilities tend to have disabilities. And that can keep them from getting a stable job, a stable income, and being respected the same way as anybody else. So there's just so many levels to it. And A2B, hopefully in the long run, will be able to fix everything and have a solution to all of those problems. But right now our main mission is to go out, meet people where they're at, provide a full service and one stop. Let's get you a meal. Let's get you cleaned up with a haircut, a nice outfit for an interview. Let's get you some interview practice, a nice resume so you can hopefully go and apply to some of these jobs. And hopefully we'll have a list of, like recovery workplaces, secondary workplaces for people that are coming out of incarceration. And we can just pretty much bridge that gap.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now what we can provide as of today is going to change, of course, coming in the next upcoming years. But right now, we really want to be able to provide that haircut, that shower, that job interview experience, the resume, the food. But that doesn't mean that when you come to us, you have to have the full package. If someone comes to us and says, hey, I just want that burger, cool, take it. If that is where you are at in your journey right now, where you just are looking for another meal to keep your belly full to last you for the next couple of days, come to us. We can do that for you. But if you are also like, hey, I want to get a job, I have kids that I need to take care of, and whatever the case may be, we can help you with that too. Going forward, we're going to have a lot more resources that we will be able to provide. But that is kind of where you guys come in. Any kind of resources that you're able to provide to give back to the community, whether it's financially speaking, whether it's a connection to someone who you can connect us with who needs help or someone who can help, or even your own volunteer time, let us know. The more hands, the better. We are going to have a lot to do and a lot of people that need help. So
yeah. And our outreach days, we're going to have teams. So, you may have a specialty, going back to that God's calling, right? Like there is a spot for you in everything that you do. And so we're going to have a meal team that's providing like the meals and packing them and helping us prep them and that kind of stuff. Yeah. We're going to have a prayer team that's there so people can come up and feel comfortable asking questions or just getting prayer. We'll have a team that's like there for hair and like the outfits, getting them physically prepared. We'll have a team for interviews. So whatever you feel your specialty is, we'll be able to assign you, that role, that opportunity to really utilize your skill sets, which will be, I hope, impactful for both the individual that's receiving it and the individual that's giving, because everybody knows giving is genuinely better than receiving.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much more fulfilling, in my opinion, to know that not only are you helping someone in need, but you're also bettering the community and bettering the world. And you're putting yourself out there as a great example of how we should all be able to come together and help those in need, regardless of the circumstances. And I feel like if you're able to do it, why not do it? You're taking a little bit of time out of your day to help someone survive and live their life. And that's so special. Everybody has gifts, like Brooke said, and we would love to get to know you and learn what those gifts are. And if you want to help and be a part of A2B Connections, we definitely have a home for you here with us. So
definitely. And, obviously money makes the world go round, right? And so there's a lot of operational sides to this program where we're going to have to be ordering lots of products and food and all the things. And hopefully soon we'll have a mobile vehicle to do a mobile closet, which would be awesome. But all of that takes money and financial support, and it's through people's philanthropic hearts that's possible. So whatever money you could give, even if it's a penny, will help go towards somebody who needs it. And Anna and I are fully volunteer. We are not getting paid from this. This is from our passion, which is another saying of ours. So our outreach team will be receiving a shirt, and it's going to have a saying in it there was a really late night where Anna and I were kind of just going back, passing ideas, and this saying just popped to my mind. And when I said it, she was like, "Oh my gosh, like, you need to write this down."
Yeah.
Do you want to share what that saying is?
Yeah. So we were sitting at our kitchen table. It's like 10:30 at night on like probably, I don't know, like a Wednesday or a Thursday. We just got off of work. We're both tired, but trying to bounce ideas. And she said that she wants people to give out of the kindness of their hearts, not because they feel pressured to, because it's supposed to be about passion, not guilt. And I like immediately, like, my brain woke up in that moment and I was like, say that again, let me type it down. And so our t-shirts are going to have our logo, and it's going to have that quote of, it's about passion, not guilt. Because we want you to feel passionate about what you're doing. We don't want to be those people that are guilt tripping you into giving to others who are needy. You know, we want to make sure that you're doing this out of the goodness and kindness of your heart because you want to, because you're passionate about our vision and how we want to help the community. And, you know, I feel like no one should be doing something out of guilt, because then it's not authentic. It's not, what's the word?
Genuine.
Yeah, it's not genuine.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're doing something out of guilt, it's not going to feel good. And we want to make sure that, you know, everybody is getting a little bit of a win in this. You know, you feel good about what you're doing, and they feel good because they're being helped. And we want to make sure that everybody is having a good time when doing this. No negative energy. So, yeah.
Yeah. We're really excited about this opportunity, about the mission that we have, and the passion that we have. You know, this is something that we're super just full indulgent in every moment of it. We're staying up super late nights, exploring ideas, thinking about every single checkmate moment for these individuals to go, what can we do? What is our calling here? How do we fix this? You know, finding those solutions are tricky, but it's not impossible. It just hasn't been done yet.
And from wherever you're listening, if you've never been to Reno, Nevada, it is very much, I mean, the streets are covered with homeless people. And a lot of these people are either older with a disability, or they have pets. And, I mean, they're finding any place that they can just rest their head at night. And there's a lot of places where, like, you can't go sleep on a park bench. You can't just go sleep in a park. Like, those are things that are against the law. And so just finding a place to sleep at night is hard, let alone having to find a meal and money and resources to just get through the day. And so this is something that we see in our Brooke and I see in our every single day lives. You know, you go to drive to work, you're going to see 2 or 3 homeless people, regardless of the time of day. And now that we have decided to start this nonprofit, it seems so much more prominent, and at least for me, like in my life, like I see it so much more now. And I just feel like so much more called to be doing this, because we're getting like closer and closer, you know, getting more documents signed and getting more people involved. And it's just like, man, like I really cannot wait to actually jump full force in and finally be able to help the way that I can help. It's really fulfilling to have that feeling of knowing that there's going to be something that I'm able to do to help someone that's on the street right now.
And that's not to say that we don't have wonderful nonprofits or other organizations in the area, because we do.
We do.
The Food Bank, Children's Cabinet, Catholic Charities, they all do wonderful, great things. But if you look at where their actual physical locations are, they tend to be really far apart. And when you don't have transportation, that's really hard to go and get that assistance from. And there was another organization that we were looking at where they required an ID to get assistance. And a lot of homeless people don't have ID. So they're not really able to. And they don't have the money to spend on transportation. And same thing with those out of incarceration or those out of foster care. How are you supposed to get an ID? You know, it's all a challenge. But, you know, these nonprofits, they do a great job. They're just really far apart. So if we can be that one-stop shop, like, let's do it. Let's bring everything together. And I was telling Anna, it's harder than I thought. Like, it's the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh my goodness, like there's a roadblock. Oh, there's a checkmate. Oh, there's a barrier. And you have to keep turning around in your head to find the solution. So I'm not surprised that there's no organization like A2B yet.
Yeah.
But we will be the first, and we will be the experts in it.
Yes, we are really busting our butts to try and jump through all of these hoops. Like, we're just two girls, man, you know? Like, it's hard, and this kind of job is not for the weak. So if you're going to volunteer, we are going to have a little bit of, I guess you could say it's kind of like a training course. We're basically going to provide you with the PowerPoint of what you can expect if you're going to be on our outreach team. And so it's going to kind of let you know what more of what we're about and what you would be doing and the kind of people that we're going to be seeing, how often we go out, all of that good stuff. But we just want to make sure that we're informing you of everything before you decide that you want to help us, because this is not an easy job to go out and help people who are unpredictable, whether or not that be because they're irritable, they're hungry, they're on drugs, they just got out of prison, whatever the case may be. We have absolutely no idea who we're going to walk up to in that moment. But we do know that we want to help. And our passion is stronger than any kind of bad day that they might be having. Because if they do need to take it out on me, I have to just take it and be there for that. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you how you need help. And so, you know, this is very much a fulfilling position and a fulfilling opportunity, but you do need to be able to have that mindset of, you know, these people who need help can potentially be unpredictable. So we will provide a little bit of a training course, and just to kind of, of course, we're going to provide you resources of, you know, the best way to approach someone, and we're going to be able to have, of course, we want to be that one-stop shop. So potentially when we do get a vehicle, we're going to be able to go to places that are all around Reno, Nevada, and where they can come to us when they need something. We really want to get the word out about us so that people know, you know, hey, like, I'm really struggling to find a job. Who can I go to? Come to A2B, because we're free and we're here to help you. You don't have to go pay someone. I know there's lots of companies out here where, you know, you can pay them to help you find a job, but even if you're not homeless and you're really struggling and, you know, you need to feed your kids that night, or you really need to find a job, come to us. We're here. Yeah. There's no audience that we will ever push away and say, yeah, we're not going to help you. Of course, we are also getting a lot of connections through networking events. So if there is another nonprofit or organization that we can lead you to, we'll definitely do that as well.
It is a privilege and a blessing to have my cup full enough to be able to fill somebody else's. I hope that some people listening to this podcast have a full enough heart, full enough cup to be able to donate maybe their time, maybe their finances, whatever it may be. Even if it's support, just sharing us on social is huge. Giving our name out there to people who may be struggling. If you know somebody, or if you just happen to see somebody outside of a Starbucks, be like, hey man, how you doing? Like, did you know that this is like an organization you can go to and they'll help you with whatever you need? Like, all of it is helpful. And we can build a community even if we don't know you by name. So I really look forward to exploring this new opportunity with you guys, with Anna. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
It is, yeah. We're so excited, and just, like, again, like, my heart feels so full, you know, to have the opportunity to help others. It's just the most fulfilling thing ever, and we're just so excited to get out there and do what we can to, I mean, truly make the world a better place. Like, yeah. That's what we're trying to do. So yeah, if you guys want to get connected with us, we've got a lot of socials that you can find us at. Our Facebook is just A2B Connections. Instagram is A2B_Connections. We also are going to have YouTube, a LinkedIn, TikTok. We're going to link that all in the description below, along with our website link. And on our website, you can go on and you can contact us, look at basically what we're about, who we are, who's a part of our board, and you can also donate.
Mm-hmm. And you can sign up to volunteer as well. And we'll send regular updates on there and social media about when our outreach days are, when our grand opening is, what tabling events we'll be at.
Yes.
All that information that's super important to keep us as a community.
So yeah, stay tuned for the next one, guys. But for now, this is A.
This is B.
And we'll see you in the next connection.